So, did you guys know that Canada actually wants 1 million more immigrants by 2022?
As a matter of fact, the total allotment for 2019 is 330,800, 2020 is 341k, and 2021 is 350k. And if you take a look at the current levels for 2019, as of December 1st, 2019, we have already welcomed almost 313,000 new immigrants in Canada, and we are a few more away to complete the 330,000 mark. However, for 2020 and 2021, we have the full almost 700,000 new immigrants waiting to land in Canada.
So a big congratulations to all of you guys who made it this year, and for those who are yet to land in Canada soon, I wish nothing but the best in your application. My name is Zid. Let's jump into the top 8 ways to immigrate to Canada. The first one is through the family class category. So if you guys are married to a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident who is 18 years of age, then you guys can come to Canada through a spouse visa. Just remember guys that there's certain conditions that you need to meet in order for you to be eligible under this type of visa. The first one is that you and your spouse must have lived together for 12 months continuously. And second one is you must provide a proof that you have set up a household together. Before we move on guys, please consider subscribing to my channel, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate all the support.
Alright, so to sponsor your spouse, simply go to this link and then scroll further down and simply follow the 4 steps guys, which are very easy and straightforward. So the first one is to get the application package. The second one is to pay your application fees. The third one is to submit your application to this address. So basically, if your spouse is outside Canada, then definitely send it to this address right here. However, if your spouse is living in Canada, then definitely mail your application to this address.
Now, the second way to immigrate to Canada, which is one of the easiest and one of the fastest, is to become an international student. So all you have to do is to choose for a school. Now, that school needs to be a DLI or a designated learning institution. Once you find a school, you can apply for a study permit, and then you can study here for like 2 years so that you guys can get a 3-year PGWP or postgraduate work permit. And once you have that work permit, you can earn 1 year work experience in Canada and then apply for permanent residence.
So if you guys are very interested to become an international student and eventually a Canadian PR, I actually have a very detailed video that will guide you step by step on how to apply for a study permit, and then step 2, apply for a work permit, and then finally as a Canadian PR. So if you guys want to check this video, you can go to my channel, and then under videos, you can find this video over here.
Now the third way is to apply for express entry. And express entry guys is one of the simplest and most straightforward way to become a Canadian permanent resident. And the very first step that you should do is to compute for your CRS score.
Alright, so first things first, if you're applying for express entry, the first thing you need to do is to find out your CRS score. And to find out, all you have to do is to go to this link. Now, a lot of you guys already know your CRS score, but it's always good to keep coming back to this tool because you might have missed something that could potentially increase your CRS score. So in this tool, all you have to do is to answer a series of questions, and based on the answer you provided, it will compute for your total CRS score. But no worries, and we are gonna do it together. So the first one is, what is your marital status? If you're single, then say single. How old are you? Let's say 30 years of age. What is your level of education? Let's say master's. Have you earned a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate? If not, then say no. If you've taken your IELTS exam, then put IELTS over here and then indicate your score in speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Do you have any other language test results? If none, then say not applicable. Your work experience in Canada, if none, then say none. How about outside of Canada or foreign skilled work experience? If you have, then indicate the total experience you have, let's say 3 years or more. Do you have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province, territory, or federal body? If none, say no. Do you have a valid job offer in Canada? If none, say no. Do you have a provincial nomination from a province? So actually, we are going to discuss this in the next few minutes. If none, say no. Do you or your spouse have at least one brother or sister living in Canada as a citizen or PR? If yes, then say yes, and then simply click on calculate your score, and then all the way down here it will tell you your total points or total CRS score, which is 491. So now that you know what your CRS score is, the next thing to do is to find out what the current cutoff score is. So to do that, all you have to do is to go to this link, which will show you all the rounds of invitations. So what happens is IRCC makes a draw every 2 weeks and sets out a CRS cutoff score. So as of November 27, 2019, the current cutoff score is actually 471. Now the next thing to do is to compare your total CRS score to the cutoff score. If your CRS score is higher than the cutoff score, which is actually the case right now, then you are going to get an invitation to apply, for which you can proceed for applying for permanent residence. Now, if you guys need some help on how to apply for express entry, then no worries, because I actually have a very detailed video that I created that helps you how to apply for express entry step by step. Now, if you encounter any issues or questions or clarifications that you might have, then simply make a comment on this video and I'm gonna be very helpful and definitely help you out on your questions. So simply go to my channel, and then under videos you can find this video over here.
Moving on to fourth way to immigrate to Canada is through PNP or Provincial Nominee Program. Now that you know your CRS score, if you really can't make it to the cutoff score, or you guys have really hard time to clear the cutoff score, then no worries, because there's ways to get around with this, and one of which is to apply for PNP or Provincial Nominee Program. So when you apply for a PNP, your goal is to get a nomination letter from the province, and that will definitely give you additional 600 points. And once you have that 600 points, for example, you have a CRS score of like 300, so 600 plus 300 will give you 900 points, and definitely that will get you an ITA or invitation to apply in the next draw. Now there's about 80 provincial streams that you can apply to, and it all depends on your profile. For example, guys, you really have low CRS score, for example 300 or 320, then you guys can apply under the Alberta Express Entry stream. Now, if you guys have a relative like a cousin, an aunt, or an uncle in Canada, especially in Manitoba, then you guys can apply under the MPNP or Manitoba Provincial Nominee stream, because that relative can actually give you additional or higher points. Now, if you guys have really low IELTS score, for example 5.0, 4.0, then you guys can apply under SINP or Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program.
Alright, so in order to get a nomination from a province, all you have to do is to apply in a specific province. Now take note, guys, that you can actually apply to multiple provinces at a time. So all you need to do is to go to this link and click on any of the provinces or links over here. So for example, let's say Alberta, this is the page that you want to apply for AINP for British Columbia, and for MPNP or Manitoba. Now the good news, guys, is that I actually created a video on each of these provinces. So all you have to do is to go to my channel, and then under videos you will see all of the videos that you need. So for example, if you want to apply for Alberta, then this is the video that you want to watch. Specifically, if you have very low CRS score, for Manitoba, for British Columbia, and if you have really low IELTS score, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0 are all accepted in Saskatchewan. So simply go to this channel, guys, and you will see all of the videos that you need.
The fifth and sixth way to immigrate to Canada is through the AIPP and the RNIP. So AIPP, guys, stands for Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, and RNIP stands for Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. So if you guys can't really make it to the CRS cutoff score, then your option is to apply under AIPP or RNIP. So for both of these programs, all you need to do is to find a designated employer who can provide you a job offer, and the rest of the steps are going to be easier.
So guys, again, if you need some help or guidance on how to apply for AIPP or RNIP, I've actually created videos on how to apply for this program. So all you need to do is to go to my channel, and then under videos you will see the AIPP application process over here, and then for RNIP or Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program over here, and a follow-up video on the RNIP can be found by watching this video over here.
The seventh way to immigrate to Canada is through the Quebec Skilled Worker Program. Again, if you can't really make it to the express entry cutoff score, then one option you can take is to apply under the Quebec Skilled Worker Program. So QSWP, guys, is entirely different from express entry. So if express entry has CRS score, then QSWP on the other hand has selection grid points, where you need to meet certain points in order to progress your application for QSWP.
Once again, guys, I'm really passionate about Canadian immigration, so I did create a video specific for Quebec Skilled Worker Program. In order to watch this video, you can go to my channel, and then under videos you can find this video over here. This is actually for QSWP. Now, the good news for Quebec Skilled Worker Program, guys, is that they are actually going to admit 44,500 new permanent residents in 2020. So definitely this video is going to be a big help for you guys on how to apply for QSWP.
The eighth way to immigrate to Canada is through business immigration. So if you guys are having a hard time becoming a permanent resident through the 7 ways that we've discussed a while ago, then let's take a look whether you are eligible under the business immigration stream. So this stream is divided into 2 different categories. The first one is the self-employed person stream, and the second one is the startup visa program. Let me tell you how this works.
Alright guys, so for business immigration, there's actually 2 categories under this program. The first one is self-employed persons, and the next one is startup visa program. Now let's dive into each of these programs so that you guys know how to apply to this program. So let's start off with self-employed persons. So what you want to know about this program is the eligibility criteria, and of course the process on how to apply under this program. So let's take a look at the eligibility criteria. So for self-employed person, all you have to do is you need to have at least 2 years of relevant work experience and show that you intend to become self-employed in Canada. And of course the second one is to score at least 35 points on a selection grid system. So let's take a look at the points selection grid right now. Alright, so this link over here will actually tell you how to compute for your points based on the selection criteria. Now these are all of the selection criteria and the maximum points that you can get from each of these criteria. So for the first one, education, you get a maximum points of 25. Experience is maximum points of 35. Age 10. Your English or French exam 24. Your adaptability is 6 points. Now let's take a look at how much points you will get for each of these criteria. So if you start with education, you actually get 25 points if you have a master's degree. A bachelor's level will give you 22 points. A 3-year diploma, 22 points, and so on and so forth. Now moving on to work experience, you actually get points based on how long you work on your occupation. For example, 2 years of relevant experience, you get 20 points. 3 years is 25 points, and so on and so forth. For age, you get points based on how old are you, And then for language ability, you get maximum of 24 points based on your listening, speaking, reading, and writing scores. And of course, finally, you get 6 points from adaptability. So that means 3 to 5 points if you have your spouse or common law partner's level of education. 5 points for a previous work in Canada, 5 points for a previous study in Canada, and 5 points for a relative or relatives in Canada. Now, to apply for a self-employed person, all you have to do is to go to this link, and the steps are very clear and straightforward. All you have to do is to get the application package from this link and then pay your application fees and finally submit your application. Now let's move on to the second category, which is the Startup Visa Program. Now what you guys want to know is, of course, how to qualify for this program and, of course, the application process for the Startup Visa Program. So to be able to apply for the Startup Visa Program, guys, you need to have a qualifying business, a letter of support from a designated organization. You have to meet the language requirements, and of course, you need to have the enough money to settle and live in Canada before you make money from your business. So guys, just go to this link right here and we can explore each of these eligibility requirements by going to each of the links over here. Finally, to apply for the Startup Visa Program, all you need to do, guys, is to go to this link, and similar with the previous program that we discussed, the application process is the same. So basically, it's very simple and straightforward. The first thing, of course, is to get the application package from this link and then pay for your application fees, and finally to submit your application. So guys, again, I wish you all the best on your application for permanent residence. If you find this video really helpful and useful, please don't forget to hit the like button and share it to your friends. So guys, I hope, and I really hope, that I see you soon here in Canada.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write down in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't watched my previous videos about express entry, you can try going through these videos right here. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Good luck.